Hi guys, Zach here with the best of 21 series between Chris and dauT, currently spectating game 11 in this series, and dauT is taking this game by storm so far, or this series by storm even. He's actually won 7 out of the 10 games so far, and Chris has only won 3, and I haven't watched this game yet already, but I've got no idea who's going to win this, and really Chris needs to win this one because in a best of 21, the first person to win 11 games is basically the winner, and dauT is closing in on that 11 game mark, and for Chris it just looks so far away right now. But this is the 11th game, and if he wins this one, then he might be back on track. He might just have had a bad stint, who knows. So anyway, Chris in green down to the south of the, well, sort of left side of the map, playing as Mayans, and dauT to the other side of the map as Mayans as well in red. And these guys always play the same colours, so at least it makes it easier to remember who is who. That's always a bonus. And as you can see, the gold in the centre indicates to us that it's actually Gold Rush today. And I love Gold Rush. It's such a cool map because it's so important that you gain control of the centre area. Because if you don't gain control of the centre and you don't have any gold, then you're struggling. Because as you saw in game 9, when Chris ran out of gold so early on, he was in a really bad situation. 4 villagers going on to wood over here, so we could see a drush from Chris. It is quite likely his 10th villager going on to, or 11th even, going on to boar over there. And dauT is, what's he doing? He's got 4 on wood as well, so he's probably going to drush here also. And I think both of these guys are really going to want to get as much control of the center area of the map as possible. As you can see, there's just so much gold on this center area here, and that's quite cool. It's always fun to see people battling out, and Gold Rush is a lot better on a multiplayer map, not just a 1v1. If you've got 6 players, for instance, or 8 players even on a Gold Rush, it's so fun just to see them all trying to cling to the hills and get as much gold as they possibly can. This is actually really interesting as well because this area is raised up, so if anyone put a castle on here, they'd have a really nice attack advantage over anything around it, which is really nice as well. dauT luring his boar there. I'm going to speed things up a bit as well until we get into the feudal age or some action happens, because as we know, the start of every single game is always so similar, and it does get a little bit repetitive after a while, so I like to speed the starts up. And Ooh, dauT actually trying to steal Chris's boar there, and it looks like he's been able to do it. Chris might return the favour and steal dauT's boar. In fact, I kind of hope he does go and steal dauT's boar. Is he going to do it? No, yes, no, maybe. No, he's not. Oh, no, he might. No, Chris isn't going to go and steal dauT's boar, but he's going to try and take out dauT's Eagle Warrior. And that's nice. dauT, as we've seen in a previous game, stealing Chris's boar for the 2nd time. So Chris has only got 1 boar now, and he's lost his first. If Chris decides to go and lure this one away, but dauT is going to try and get it quickly, and dauT has just saved that, fortunately. So dauT is now in a really good situation. He's got extra food to start the game, and Chris is going to fall behind once again, just because he lost his boar so soon. And I've actually seen dauT do this in the best of 21 between Jordan 23 and dauT as well. And dauT is just, he plays so dirty when there's money up for grabs. And to be fair, I don't blame him. If you were playing for money, I would steal the boars too, because at the end of the day, it would be nice to be able to get that extra cash. Who can blame him? So dauT is going to have a nice advantage here, and Chris is going to be out of food. So Chris might want to not go with the drush anymore, because he's going to be really low on food, and funding a drush can actually slow you down. Well, it does slow you down into the feudal age, so Chris might want to wall up and forget about his drush and get some more farms out and get into the feudal age a bit faster than dauT. However, dauT is going to be in a really nice position because he's got this extra boar, and that's going to allow him to get this barracks and get some militia out. And with those militia, he might be able to do some harassment. As we can see, Chris already starting to wall off, and I think Chris is probably going to abandon his drush and just go up to the feudal age as quick as he can. He's still getting the extra wood though, because he's going to need to complete this wall off. So yeah, he is making the right decision. But look at this area. He's walled into this area here. It's a really small area. Fortunately though, it's really easy to wall this off. He's only got a wall here, and he's completely walled. So he'll be able to hold dauT's drush off for sure. He just needs to be able to out-economy him or get the pressure on in the feudal age. So I'm going to be interested to see what Chris does. It's definitely not game over at this stage. He's sending quite a few villagers over to gold right here. So So, oh no, he's only sending 3 over, so we could even see a fast castle from him, which again would be interesting. Having to delete the wall there to let his sheep in, and here we go with dauT's drush. I don't think dauT is going to be able to drush here at all. I don't think he's going to be able to get the damage in because Chris is completely walled. Unfortunately though, Chris, if he gets forced into this little area, he is going to be really, really hard pressed because he's only got this little gold back here. So he needs to make sure that dauT doesn't keep him cooped up inside of his base, because if dauT does that, then Chris is not going to be in a good position at all. So just going to speed things up through to the feudal age and see what Chris does. He might go and get some archers out, as mines do have good archers. And let's see what he does. He's definitely not going to go for a fast castle, and it looks to me like he's definitely going to go for archers at this stage. He's got way too little food to go for a fast castle right here, and yeah, I'm thinking perhaps archers, or, well, we'll have to see what he does. But dauT is hacking away at that house, and there we go, an archery range going up for Chris. So Chris is far behind because he lost this boar, and dauT is, let's see if he's actually up to the feudal. Yeah, he's advancing up to feudal now. So Chris needs to use this time really wisely and get as many archers out as he can to repel dauT away and make sure he doesn't get cooped up inside of his base. If Chris loses map control and dauT gains map control and keeps Chris inside of his base, then it is game over for Chris. There won't be anything he'll be able to do, especially if dauT gets to Castle Age and upgrades to crossbowman. So we can see here, I can imagine Chris has already got these archers lined up, and they're going to be able to deal with these militia for sure. And by the looks of things, dauT is going to be a little bit slow to get any units over there, so Chris could be okay here. But bear in mind, Chris is going to have a lot worse economy right now, and he really needs to get out of his base and secure some map control. See what he's going to do. He might be able to repel dauT away, and I'm hoping he's going to be able to do that. dauT now into the feudal age, and dauT is going to have such a good economy in comparison to Chris. Chris's score is only was further ahead purely because he had the archer here. And let's see what he does. He needs to really push out now, take out these militia, and move across the map, because dauT is going to start getting archers of his own pretty soon, and because he's got a better economy, Chris needs to get the economical harassment in ASAP, basically. These archers breaking out of the wall, and he's just going to bypass these militia completely, and so that means that dauT is not going to expect an attack coming in, and that's a really nice thing to do actually. It means that dauT is not going to see this attack coming, because he's going to assume that Chris would have killed off these militia first. So Chris pushing out across the map. Let's see what he's going to do here. Just gonna keep in line with these, and I don't really know where he's going. He's either not got much map coverage, which he has actually. Let's see where he goes with this. Okay, so he's coming in right now, and he might be able to actually get a lot of these villagers out. dauT's villagers are really exposed here. I can't see how many villagers, how many archers dauT has got inside of his town, inside of his archery ranges. And Chris is going to be able to pick off a few villagers here. He's also got fletching already researched, so if dauT decides to ungarrison these archers now, they probably will die. Chris even bringing his Eagle Warrior up into the mix. Going to try and break through this palisade perhaps, and it's going to take him a while to get through there, but he's still going to be able to get the harassment in. And dauT releasing his archers from the archery range, but he hasn't got +1 attack, so Chris should be able to win this, especially with the Eagle Warrior in the mix. And bringing villagers in as well. And oh, Chris so close. I think he was outnumbered there, and that's why he's lost it. But he's bringing reinforcements around the back now, and dauT is really outnumbered here. And bear in mind though, dauT is on his way up to the Castle Age right here, and Chris is going to have to do as much damage as he can in feudal and face the fact that dauT might be able to upgrade to a crossbowman extremely quickly. He's going to try and do more damage though if he can. He can't get too close to the town centre though, as if he does come around here, he will be in range of the town centre, and dauT will be pretty safe. But he is going to try and break through the palisade perhaps, or at least pick off some villagers where he can. But again, he doesn't want to get too close to the town centre. dauT going into the Castle Age, and Chris really not looking good here. He's going to be slow into the Castle Age for sure. He's not got much resources at all, but he's keeping the pressure piled on, continuing to build archers, and if he can keep outnumbering dauT, then he's going to be in a good position. As we can see, dauT already researching crossbowmen there, but Chris is managing to snipe off a few villagers here. He might be able to regain his economy in in regards to how far dauT is ahead, and it's amazing really how much just a one boar steal can actually do. And as you can see now, dauT upgraded to crossbowman with the +1 attack, and Chris needs to do what damage he can. He's not going to be able to last too long with just these archers. He needs to think about going up to the castle age pretty soon, and he's hoping that perhaps he's regained enough economy here to kind of draw things level. As you can see, his score is slightly further ahead, but he has got a lot more military, so Chris needs to be really careful here. He wants to gain map control if he can and keep dauT inside of his base so that when necessary he can push out and claim some extra golds on the map. I also like this map because there's so many wolves around, it's always fun. And yeah, so Chris is outnumbering dauT with military, but dauT is not looking in a good position because, Chris is not looking in a good position because dauT has upgraded to crossbowman and he will be able to get the extra attack on those crossbowmen soon. However, Chris does have the archer armor upgrade, but Chris is going to be faced with archers on the hill from dauT, and that's not good. He doesn't want to be fighting against the hill. Might even be able to pick off a few more villagers, and he's sandwiched here. It's not looking good. He needs to just be really careful not to lose these archers if he can. But dauT is looking to me like he's going to be able to deal with this force pretty nicely. Although saying that, I don't know. Chris is actually still holding on really nicely here. He's bringing more archers in from the back, and although Chris has lost a lot more military than dauT has, he still is outnumbering dauT military-wise. He needs to keep the pressure on and do what damage he can, but it looks like dauT is going to really struggle to actually repel him here unless he can store up a lot of crossbowmen in these archery ranges. Chris is pushing out across the map. He's got 3 archery ranges already, a 4th one on the way, and it doesn't look like he's really thinking about going to castle age so soon. He just wants to keep the pressure on, gain up his food, and then when he can, he's going to advance to castle age, and he might be in a really nice position here. dauT is going to struggle getting out of his base, and as long as Chris can hold off any units from dauT that he might have here until he gets to the castle age, then Chris might be in a much better position than we anticipated. As we can see, Skirmish is coming out as well, just to supplement the fact that he wants to get to 200 gold and 800 food, and he's going to be advancing up to the castle age pretty soon, I think. Skirmishers as well, a good choice as they are effective against crossbowmen, so Chris is actually looking in a really good position, and if he's managed to turn things around here, this is going to be great. He's managed to do quite a lot of economical damage here. If he can take out this palisade and keep dauT away from here, then Chris is going to be able to break through, and he's going to be in a really great position. He might even be able to get through this palisade pretty quickly. But as we can see, Chris now advancing up to the castle age. Needs to be careful not to lose these archers to the crossbowmen though, and dauT's economy's really been messed with right here. Chris also going to try and get some archers around the back just to keep dauT occupied. Looks like he's going to take out his force of crossbowmen again, and Chris doing a really good job here, just keeping himself reinforced at the front, keeping dauT cooped up in his base. Might even be able to take out a few more villagers, and Chris doing a great job taking out villagers one at a time here. dauT didn't notice that these archers were actually firing, and Chris now up to the castle age, a lot slower than dauT, but he is in a lot better position. dauT though has got another town centre at the back, which is allowing him to gather some extra wood and rebuild his economy a lot faster than Chris is able to. But Chris still trying to snipe off villagers where he can. If he comes around this side here, he might be able to take out some more, but he's going to break through this palisade, and if he gets through here, that's really bad because dauT is going to lose all of his gold collectors, and it looks like Chris is through. This could be really bad for dauT. dauT is going to pull off all of his villagers from gold right here, and he might even lose a few villagers in the process as well, losing a couple there, and dauT really in a bad position now because if he can't get out and get any gold, then he can't build any crossbowmen. He's going to be forced to build really weak units like, well, they're not really weak, but fairly weak units like skirmishers. And here we go, Chris as well, getting into the wood line of dauT, picking off villagers left, right and centre, and dauT is really not looking in a good position here. He's lost so much economy, and Chris is still on his way into the castle age, and this could be really bad for dauT right here. He's really going to struggle to win this one, I think. Getting up a market to sell off any of his excess resource. He's got quite a lot of wood, but he's got no gold, and he's going to be unable to gather any gold as well until he gets this force out of his base. But Chris has taken out so many villagers. Let's have a look at the population. 43 for dauT and 58 for Chris, so Chris is taking a massive lead. He's just advanced up to the castle age as well, which means we can see crossbowmen probably on the way pretty soon. I'm surprised he's not actually got that already, but Bodkin Arrow is already being researched, which is a really vital upgrade as it will give you a +1 attack and range on your archers and skirmishers as well. It looks like dauT might just be able to repel Chris out of his base here, but Chris has got such a big lead from that attack, and he has got more units where that came from. still, there we go, advancing up to crossbowman now as well, and Chris looks to be in a really great position. If we look at the scores here, dauT's score is way far behind, and dauT is giving it up right here already, and he knew that that was game over. So even though dauT managed to steal that boar at the start and put Chris behind economically, Chris did the perfect thing. He walled off, advanced up to the feudal age quickly, and fended off dauT's rush. And because he managed to do that, he managed to keep the pressure on, and because he kept his units alive and kept dauT inside of his base, gaining the map control, Chris was able to then advance up to the castle age with a better economy. And yeah, it was actually a really great game to see. Chris came back, and that was really nice because I was kind of rooting for Chris to kind of get a move on and get something under his belt. So it's now, what is it now? It's 7-4 to dauT. So Chris is still far behind, but he's just shown to us that he has got the potential to win on this. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see any fights for this middle gold here. You rarely do it in a 1v1, but great game by Chris anyway. As usual, I've been Zach, and I'll see you next time.